it starts deteriorating your body.
All right.
So.
And you good? Like, you got it under control?
No.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, because when you been diagnosed, or this is a recent thing?
I've been diagnosed with diabetes forever.
Because this is like the smallest I've ever seen you. Like,
it's hereditary.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been diagnosed with diabetes.
You have to do insulin?
Time to time. Not all the time, but time to time.
Okay.
With my number.
You had a beef with, or have a beef with Ja Rule?
It's an old school. That's an old.
But I understand that. But I understand in October you did something to get back at Ja Rule.
Yeah.
And please tell the people what you did, because this is quite
I bought like the first 4 rows in his concert.
You bought the first 4 rows in this concert?
Yeah, they was like on Groupon for $15. It wasn't a big deal.
Whispers of a legend's downfall echo through the industry. A kingmaker, a mastermind, a man who built an empire, gone. But in his wake, shadows stir, old rivalries reignite, and the past refuses to rest. Irv Gotti, the architect of Murder Inc. Records, is dead at 54. The news breaks late Wednesday night, a statement from Def Jam confirming his passing. No cause given, no details, just silence and questions. His legacy, undeniable. His influence, unmatched. But his past, that's where the mystery deepens. Because Irv Gotti was never just a name in music. He was a force. And forces, even in death, leave ripples that refuse to fade.
New this morning, Irv Gotti, a Queens native and founder of Murder Inc. Records, has died. The mogul's real name, Irving Lorenzo Jr. His cause of death has not been released, but the music mogul did suffer a stroke last year and had long battled diabetes-related issues. Irv Gotti was a noted record executive, music producer, and entrepreneur. He rose to fame in the late 90s and early 2000s while working with artists including Ja Rule, Ashanti, and DMX. Irv Gotti was 54.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm Gina. Insane. On this Thursday morning, we are following breaking news. I want you to take a good look at your screen, following the very latest in real time, learning from Fox 11 Los Angeles and also TMZ that music producer Irv Gotti has died at the age of 54. I'm going to drop this banner so we can see the graphic in real time. We're learning from TMZ music mega producer Irv Gotti, who worked with big acts like DMX, Ja Rule, and Ashanti, is dead. Multiple sources close to his family tell us he died Wednesday in New York City. It's currently unclear, though, how he died. Irv's battled health problems recently since suffering a stroke last year and has had to walk with the aid of a cane. The famed head of Murder Inc. Records has been open with his struggles with diabetes, saying he wasn't consistent with taking his insulin. Irv also noted his doctors had encouraged him to change his diet, which he was also struggling to do. When he suffered his stroke, a representative told TMZ diabetes was a factor, though TMZ is also told that Irv was improving his diet as a result. Gotti had a legendary career in hip-hop, producing Can I Live on Jay-Z's debut album, Reasonable Doubt. He also signed Vanessa Carlton to a record deal and produced her 2007 album, Heroes and Thieves. Irv and his former artist Ashanti had a war of words a couple of years ago, very open in the media, when he opened up on a now legendary Drink Champs episode about what he described as their relationship. Well, she fired back, saying it was never that serious to her, and accused Gotti of being salty that he no longer had control of her career. The rise of Irv's label was the subject of the 2022 BET documentary, The Murder Inc. Story, and Ashanti felt that was also a part of why they beefed, because she chose not to participate in that 3-part series. Again, this breaking news just coming into our Live Now from Fox Studio. We are learning that music mega producer Irv Gotti, who worked with big acts like DMX, Ja Rule, and Ashanti, as just mentioned, he has died at the age of 54. This is an ongoing story. Again, we are working to find out with our content partners what led to that death, but we do know that he died Wednesday in New York City. And we also know he battled health problems since suffering a stroke last year.
Murder Inc. wasn't just a label, it was an era, a movement. With Ja Rule and Ashanti at the helm, they ruled the charts, crafting the sound of a generation. But behind the platinum plaques and flashing lights, there were whispers, accusations, investigations. Murder Inc., a name inspired by the infamous New York crime syndicate, a name that eventually became a liability because in the early 2000s, Gotti found himself facing federal charges, money laundering, ties to a drug empire. The government wanted him gone, but in the courtroom, he won, acquitted, untouchable.
How much do you think of that case was because 50 Cent was sort of amplifying your situation? Because I remember he was on...
Because you're Vlad, I've waited all this time to give you this, I'll give you the answer.
Okay.
But, you know, if you talk to me about 50 in this case, I'm going to say he been talking to the police. He's been talking. And I'm not saying I think he hello? Yeah, this Curtis. I think he does that. He's a very unique individual because here's a guy who starts beef and pretends that he is the bully and the roughest, toughest nigga on the face of the earth, right? And then he tells on you.
At least in the eyes of the law. But power breeds enemies, and no enemy loomed larger than one man, 50 Cent. The story begins in the shadows of Queens, a robbery, a fight, a song. 1999, Ja Rule is on top of the world. Then his chain goes missing. The man responsible, a close associate of 50 Cent. From that moment, the battle lines are drawn.
And outside, Ja Rule, I was black already. His shit was like this. 50 caught him already. His shit was like this already, nigga. Like this, right here. You see? Look, camera got it. You got it, Kim. You got my man from overseas. That shit was like this. 50 a boxer caught Ja Rule already.
After 50 and Ja Rule got into the fight, 50 had took Ja chain when they was in Atlanta. So Chaz said they found out later that 50 had got the chain because I think 50 had started doing videos and wearing the chain. He had did a video and wore the chain. So Chaz called 50 over to the office and, you know, he wanted to get the chain back that belonged to Ja Rule. And 50 wasn't gonna give it back because 50 said he lost his watch during the incident, the scuffle that they had.
50 strikes first. Your life's on the line. A diss track laced with venom. Ja responds. A clash erupts in an Atlanta nightclub. Then another at the Hit Factory. But this isn't just rap beef. This is war. And then May 2000. A quiet street in Queens. 9 gunshots ring out. A young rapper is left bleeding, fighting for his life. 50 Cent survives, but something changes. The feud isn't just personal now, it's legendary. And standing in the background, always watching, always orchestrating, is Irv Gotti.
He says we're pussy, and I'm soft and pussy. But he's the one that got it done to him. And how we pussy. Like, when you think about that, we're pussy. You the one that got touched. But, my man says it all the time. Yeah, 50 don't want beef. He wants everyone to go to jail. Jimmy Henchman, like they roughed up his son.
Yeah.
Right. So when he takes care and does what any man would do who touches his son or whatever, and these guys is telling. Yeah, they calling and telling. They calling and telling. So, if we talk conspiracy theory, we're just talking conspiracy theories, right? But if you get shot, what's gonna happen?
If I get shot,
If you get shot, what you think is gonna happen?
I would go to the police.
No, what I'm saying is they're coming to you. When you're in your bed, shot the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
I think the police and the feds came to him. And I think he told them a great story of Irv Gotti and Kenneth Supreme McGriff. And I think he's been telling them stories. I think he still tells them stories, which kind of probably makes him feel untouchable because he's with the police. So he could beef with anybody. He's with the police.
They're afraid. Look, when the feds come in the indictment, they said that they beat the case. Yeah. Ain't beat no case. You never did nothing. Right. You never did nothing. They put him in the indictment because when you gave him $50,000, they said you was money laundering. You gave him the $50,000 because you. And when I keep having friction with them, he goes, let's kill this little. Yeah. Man, tell you he beat the case, and he said by the time he was done with his case, he owed $2 million. How did you beat? How did you win? You never did nothing. I went to trial with a legal aid attorney. A legal aid attorney had never been to trial because they couldn't help. There was no financial help or support for him because of that. So the government is saying, get these out the way, trying to help by giving them the case. And they'll struggle to beat that case while we're taking care of what we need to take care of with this. They look at me like I'm a bully because I ain't accept what just went down. They don't teach you to accept that.
Who ordered the hit? Who whispered in the ears of the streets? Who really pulled the strings? Federal investigations hint at a name, Kenneth Supreme McGriff, a federal drug lord, a man tied to both Murder Inc. and Irv Gotti. The puzzle pieces almost fit, but no conviction sticks. The shadows swallow the truth. Gotti walks free, 50 Cent walks stronger, and the war never truly ends. Years pass, the music shifts, the violence fades, but the hate, that never dies. And now, Gotti is gone. The world mourns, tributes pour in. His influence, his genius, his mark on hip-hop, all undeniable. But in the silence of mourning, a familiar voice rises, one that never let the past rest. 50 Cent, one final jab, one last insult. I'm smoking on that Gotti pack. Mockery, even in death. Some call it petty, others call it expected. But one thing is certain, true rivalries never fade. And in the world of hip-hop, the echoes of old feuds linger long after the final curtain falls. Irv Gotti built an empire. He survived the law. He carved his name into the industry. But history is complicated. Legacies are never just one thing. The truth, that depends on who's telling the story. And some stories never truly end. Alright, y'all, there y'all have it, man. That's the story of Irv Gotti passing away at 54. You know, rest in peace, man. Hey, get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. You already know what it is. Drillers and trappers. We out here trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!